Streetlight bleeds on cracked concrete. You press against the cold incomplete. One ear twitching at my tread, two ribs rising barely fed. 3 steps closer through the downpour, 4 walls waiting past this door. The wind holds its breath as I reach. Now your heart beats next to mine. Every shiver turns to time. No more wandering in the gray. You are known in every way. 5 towels dry your matted fur. 6 hours watching you stir. 7 breaths steady on the floor. 8 dreams knocking at the door. 9 mornings seeing you sit tall. 10 times you didn't flinch at all. The dawn spills gold across the sill. Now your heart beats next to mine. Every shiver turns to time. No more shadows in your stare. You got warmth beneath your hair. 11 walls without a chain. 12 meals shared in patient rain. 13 nights you rest your head. 14 reasons hope's not Now your heart beats next to mine. Every shiver turns to time. No more counting wounds or fears. Mud streak fur against cold stone. Eyes like embers barely shone. You didn't flinch when I drew near. Just held your breath and disappeared. I wrapped you soft in borrowed thread. Your heartbeat whispered, don't let go. Now you run where the wind blows free. No more chains, no empty cage, just sky and me. Every scar you carry sings of how the lost can learn to breathe again. Weeks of quiet, slow repair. Stitches fading, trust laid bare. You'd watch my hands with wary grace, then nudge my palm, a timid trace. One dawn you stood without a sound and turned your face towards solid ground. Now you run where the wind blows free. No more chains, no empty cage, just sky and me. Every scar you carry sings of how the lost can learn to breathe again.